Finally, we could say something nice about Fidel Castro. He's dead. I hear they cremated him because they don't want to give the cemetery maggots food poisoning. The best part about this, watching dumbass leftists search for value-free language to describe this murderous scumbucket. Oh, sure, he slaughtered tons of people, but there's always a but. He was larger than life. Sorry, jackasses, your pathetic observations about his stature offend those who died fleeing this misery mountain that he carved out of an island paradise. Cuba's so bad, their citizens would gladly take Gitmo over Havana. And a pox on those celebrities who went to Cuba for a thrill. While Cubans starved, you enjoyed the cigar and the prostitute, knowing that both shared similar lifespans. But Castro taught us that as long as you claim to destroy the system, you're allowed leeway by pop stars, the media, and academia to kill at will. Colin Kaepernick wears this racist, homophobic murderer on his chest. For him, it's the key to the radical kingdom, paid for by a mountain of skeletons. The shirt costs more than a Cuban makes in a month. I'd call him trash, but at least you can recycle litter. But look, you can't judge a country by its horrible leader. Take Justin Trudeau, who praised Castro's tremendous dedication and love for the Cuban people. What a turd. Justin symbolizes the left's vacuous moral bankruptcy. Sure, Castro killed thousands, but it was for the greater good. Trudeau's so stupid, he could probably quarterback the 49ers.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to go. Juan, let's go through the list of. Wait, this is for Justin Trudeau, okay? Yeah. If he's watching, because I know he has nothing better to do. Fidel pushed terror where possible. He inspired violent revolutions that end in death all over the place. He turned Cuba into the arm of the USSR. Thousands disappeared under his watch. He built concentration camps. He tormented and tortured gays. He encouraged torture where possible. He confiscated private property, had islands everywhere for himself. He banned Christmas. Bill O'Reilly.
It's like Montreal.
I know, 20% of the population ended up fleeing in little rickety boats. A lot of people died. We remember that. Their lives were destroyed. And yet you have people in America saying he's got an outsized personality. He's larger than life. What morons.
That said, you want to talk about vacuous moral bankruptcy, President Obama's quote, official quote was, "History will record and judge the enormous impact of the singular figure on the people and the world around him." Really? Everything Greg said about the death and the destruction and the false imprisonments, all about destroying a vibrant economy is true, and this is what the leader of the free world comes up with? History will judge? No, he's a thug. He killed people. He's bad.
You know what I love, Kimberly, is whenever you bring up all the horrible, crappy crap this guy did, they always go, oh, but they have great health care.
Right.
They only had great health care for rich tourists who came there. Everybody else died.
And you know how great he thought it was? He wouldn't even let a Cuban doctor touch him. He brought doctors in from Spain because he didn't even trust his own people, because that goes to tell you how many times people tried to assassinate him for all the horrors and atrocities that he committed. I mean, this is somebody that really championed himself on the backs of people, destroyed whole families, took away lifetimes of what people achieved. Basically, they were ruined to nothing and had to flee the country, like you said, in boats to be able to try and come to this country to save themselves, to make a dollar. Then you see people glorifying it, like Beyonce and Jay-Z and everybody having this big man crush on Castro. For what? I'm looking forward to seeing what the Trump administration is going to do as it relates to Cuba.
I think Colin Kaepernick should get on a little rickety boat and do that 90-mile.
Make it?
Yeah, see if he can make it. I want to see him do it with no offensive line.
That's true. All on his own.
Well,
yes.
Hope he doesn't get sacked.
Cuban people don't want him there.
It's weird when the left is so blind to the suffering of others. And you have to wonder why. I mean, a lot of the people who suffered, they never got to tell their story.
Yeah, the Soviet Union,
suffer
same
in
way.
silence. There's a 9-day moratorium on, there's no... Basically, you have to mourn for 9 days. It's mandatory, which I think is basically to say, just to make sure that nobody's out in the street celebrating, because Raul Castro is no different, and I think that's something that the next administration will have to look at. If you want a personal account about what this meant to a family, Mercedes Schlapp, a Fox News contributor, somebody I worked with at the White House, has an op-ed on foxnews.com that's really worth reading. Her father, who was put in prison by Castro, really helped shape her viewpoint and taught me a lot too.
Yeah, it's a really revealing story.
All right. I'm glad he's dead. Trump is putting pressure. We had to wait a long time, though. Trump's putting pressure on Cuba's government following the death of Castro, threatening to cancel President Obama's diplomatic deal with the communist nation unless multiple conditions are met. You'll hear what they are next.